Now
Hey, here we are. We're a mastermind now. Super excited to be here with one of my friends, probably a long time friend now.
That's right.
We just met this weekend, but this guy has a story. And I just thought I want everyone to show him. And this is especially very important to people. A couple of my lives before. John, what's going on, man? Nice to see you.
What's up, buddy?
We're talking about a little bit of the foods we eat. This is when I had my last live, we talked about a little bit about what we got to fuel your body. You got to make sure that you're fueling your body. You're eating the right foods so you can be functional and you can be clear and you can have clarity with your dreams and your goals and just your everyday life. I want to introduce this guy, though. He's going to do most of the talking because this is honestly well above my head. But I thought it would be fair for you to hear his story and to hear what he does and what his diet's about because it's very incredible. So Cyrus, I call him Cyrus the Virus. That isn't his name. I'll let him introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Cyrus Khambatta. I've been living with type 1 diabetes it's been about 13 years at this point.
13 years.
And I was diagnosed when I was 22, so it's actually a late diagnosis. And, most people get diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when they're like 5 or 7 or 10. And so to get it at 22 when you're in college is kind of a big deal. So I kind of flipped my whole world upside down. And then at that point, I followed the advice of the doctors because, if you don't know how to inject insulin, you don't know how much to inject, you don't know when to inject, it can literally cost you your life. If you inject too much insulin, you can die. It's that serious. So I'm not trying to be a drama queen here, but, it's really important to understand the mechanics of it. So doctors, nurses, they put you on this one-size-fits-all prescription. They say, you have diabetes. I don't care how tall you are, how short you are, what color you are, you're tall, fat, short, you name it. I don't care whether you're athletic, whether you're not athletic. It's a one-size-fits-all prescription. Do the low-carbohydrate diet. Yeah. So, carbohydrates are your enemy, insulin's your enemy. Try and avoid both of those.
That's interesting because you said a one-size-fits-all diet.
Yeah.
I felt that about school and education, the one-size-fits-all kind of education,
that,
right? And that's what I'm trying to change for youth is being able to provide them a different type of education, which isn't just being stuck in a classroom. So I can identify that on that one-size-fits-all.
Absolutely.
But also tell them because you said to me earlier today, you're not just dealing with type 1 diabetes, right? You're dealing
So I have type 1 diabetes, and basically, long story short, I ended up changing my diet and actually becoming a vegan.
A vegan?
Yeah. So I was that kid that used to make fun of vegans growing up. People would say, "Oh, I'm a vegetarian or a vegan," and I would say, "I'm sorry." That's the truth.
John,
legitimate.
John saying very true. Yeah. Thanks, John. Thanks for that love. Press some hearts, press some likes, share this. This is really good too. If you know anyone with type 1 diabetes, type 2, any type of diabetes, anyone that's actually their health is suffering because of the foods they're eating, this is a great story. This is a live story right here. A guy who's changed his life. A guy who went from making fun of people who were vegans and eating this called the foo-foo diets. You should see what this guy eats. I don't even believe it.
Yeah, so what happened was that I actually learned how to become a vegan, and most importantly, I learned how to be a low-fat vegan, because fat is actually what dictates your insulin requirements. But nobody teaches you this stuff. You literally, there's very few books that write about this stuff. And so once you realize that the amount of fat that's in your diet is actually increasing your insulin usage, then it's this tool. So what I did was I transitioned to a vegan diet.
Yeah.
I basically minimized the fat in my diet, and then all of a sudden, boom, my blood glucose went from being this roller coaster to like super stable, like rock solid.
So low fat,
plant-based whole foods.
Plant-based whole foods, high carb though, right? Or
super high carb.
Super high carb. So just because we're going to run low here, and I just want to, I want to give them an example of what would you eat on every day? What would you eat for breakfast?
All right, so here's my breakfast. Ready? 2 bananas, a mango, with some like hemp protein powder mixed into it.
Okay, so what happens if you say to the people that 2 bananas is too much in their breakfast? Because I know a lot of people are like, that's way too much banana.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's not a true statement. I eat 15 bananas a day.
15 bananas a day. And look at this. I mean, do we have to show his muscles? He's lean as hell. So 15 bananas a day.
Yeah.
Check.
So everybody has this fear of carbohydrates. Don't eat carbs, don't eat carbs, don't eat carbs, right? And we got to differentiate. When we're talking about carbohydrates, we're not talking about breads and cereals and pastas.
Yeah.
We're talking about...
Are we still there? We're going to have to... We have about 2 minutes left.
All right. So we're not talking about bread, cereals, pastas. We're talking about fruits, vegetables, legumes, sweet potatoes, things like that. So when you actually shift your diet to eating that, but do it when you minimize your fat intake, not only if you're living with diabetes does your life get simplified, if you have any other disease, heart disease, if you're overweight, this approach is so freaking powerful, it blows my mind. So we run this online group training program for people with diabetes around the world, and we have a 100% success rate, literally 100%.
That's a big guarantee.
Yeah, and
so if you're
it's
suffering
fun.
from diabetes and you're looking for something new, you're looking for something to change in your diet, you're looking for a change in your lifestyle.
That's what I'm saying.
You're starting to feel good again, not feeling lethargic, not having these highs, lows, and looking for something alternative. This is the guy. Quickly, where can they reach you?
Okay, go to mangomannutrition.com. They call me the Mango Man. Just go to mangomannutrition.com. You can read all about this philosophy. You can sign up for a coaching phone call, get on the call with you. We'll talk, learn more about you, and see if this approach.
If you know someone with diabetes, if you know anybody with any sort of health condition when it comes to diabetes, who else? Do you ever work with anyone else?
No, right. I mean, I do, but we're focusing on diabetes.
I love it. And he's not lying. So anyone with diabetes, send them his way. I've seen 2 of them here. Their lives, I mean, they're incredible. The diet's incredible. Their energy that I've seen is incredible, and they look incredible. They look super healthy people.
Thanks a ton, man.
So I suggest anyone watching this. I know my mom. We're going to be talking about this after because I know she suffers a little bit of diabetic. So I'm very looking forward to that.
We're going to turn your mom around.
We're going to turn my mother around.
Completely, 100%.
Anyways, thanks so much for watching. This was just food for thought. I thought I would do some service for you guys in this way. Anyways, we're having a great time here. We will be back when my phone is charged and ready to go.
See you later.
Thank you so much. Hey, welcome to the Kayvon YouTube channel. This is the place where you will discover your greatness. You're going to stop being pushed by all the pressures, and you are going to be pulled by your passions, by your purpose, by the why.